Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about using one of the very important functions in Excel, in Microsoft Excel, that could be used in a variety of different disciplines. Like if you're a project manager, you can use it. If you're, in business area, whatever you are, you can use this tool. And if you want to know where that is, and then what I'm going to talk about, I'm talking about the tool which is under data, what if analysis, and this is like forecast section, what if analysis, and data table. So let's see what that is and then what it can do for us. To get there, I'm going to start with an example. So I'm just going to zoom in for you, as you can see on the screen. And here I'm going to give you a scenario that imagine that we're going to get a loan from a bank. And the loan could be, for example, $4,000. So I just put 4,000, click on Home tab, and then here you can choose the appropriate sign for that. Like, sorry, this one is $, or you can just go to accounting or choose currency, one of those for the loan amount. Now, the second one is it's showing accounting. I'll just move it back to general. The second thing is you need to look at the word term. So what is the term? The term is showing how many months or years you are paying the loan back. So generally, you could see that it could be, for example, 24 months, or sometimes it's showing you as 2. So let's imagine that this is only 2. I'm going to put a note here. So you right-click here, add a note, and I would call it years. So I know that I'm dealing with years here, because when I want to use it in a formula, I want to be able to clearly figure it out. Another thing is the rate. So every single institute, financial institute, if you're going to a bank or something, when they charge you, when they are going to give you the loan, they're going to charge you something that we call it interest, right? So for that, we have the interest rate, or we simply call it rate here. So we are adding it here, and I would say, for example, 6% right now from what we have in the market. But something else that you need to know is that whenever we are talking about rates, we are talking about the rates and they are annual rate, right? So I will right click here and I will say new note, annual rate. So I just want to know, I put these notes so I don't make a mistake later as I go on. I'll show you why. Now I need to know how much monthly payment I'm having for each pay, like how much is my monthly payment here. So I would say monthly payment. Okay. So let me make it a little bit larger, and then I will put some borders around it, make it a little bit more, a little bit nicer. Okay, so now, in order to get this, we're going to use a formula. So I'm going to type a formula here. There are 2 different ways that you can add the formula. You can start typing the formula. The formula is PMT. So I can type it here, or I can, click on FX, which is bringing me the insert function. So here I can use PMT here. If you don't have PMT, you can search for it on the top here. I can just put PMT, enter, and then you can see that the PMT here formula is shown here, and I have all the information related. And it's also giving me some information about PMT. What is that? Calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payments and constant increase interest rate, right? So the interest rate and the payments are going to be constant, no changes. So if the rate goes up or down, this formula doesn't work, right? It is for the constant payment during the term or during the period that you are paying this loan back. Now, I click on OK, and it is, you can see the formula is typed here, it's PMT. So what is the rate? Now, if I click on this rate is 6%, but I know that it's annual rate, right? So how much is it for every single month? So I have 12 months. if I divide this by 12 months, this is giving me the monthly rate. And you can see that the calculation is showing as 0.005. NPER. So what is NPER? It says is the total number of payments for the loan. So how many payments are we going to make? We have 2 here, but it's 2 years, right? So I'm going to click on this. Every year, I'm going to make 12 payments every single month. So 24 is the number of months that we have in that 2 years, or the number of payments that I'm going to make in that 2 years. Present value, you see, it says is the present value, the total amount that a series of future payments is worth now. Okay, so how much is the money that we have now? This one is the loan that we have. So just want to give you heads up that I normally say it's because we don't have the money right now. I'm just going to put a minus sign here and then click on the loan amount. Okay. Why do I put a minus sign? Because if I don't, then the PMT value is becoming a negative number, which I don't want that to happen. Okay. So I will put a negative, I would say that minus, and then I put the loan amount here. Future value is the, it says, you can see also the definition says, is the future value or a cash balance you want to attain after the last payment is made. 0 if omitted. So what do we want to get into? Like after you get a loan for $4,000, you pay that back in 24 months or 2 years with an interest rate of 6%. So how much do you owe the bank or the financial institute or the person that you borrowed it from? How much do you want to owe them after 2 years? 0. So I'm going to put 0 here. And then we have type. We have different types of, it says the payment is at the beginning of the period. So we like the before the first month starts, I'm going to pay that, or am I going to just pay it at the end of each month? So I'm going to leave it empty right now here because it's going to be at the end of the month. So if you omit that, or if you don't put anything, or if you put 0, it's going to be the same here. So I'll just leave it as it is. And I click on OK. It is showing me that the monthly payment is 177.28. Okay, so this is how much I have to pay every single month if I want to get a loan for $4,000, and the term is 2 years, and the rate is 6%. Okay. So if you want to know some certain things, now we're going to calculate different things. First of all, I want to know, okay, what if I put, I can just go up there and insert some more cells here. And I would say original price. So I want to buy something, right, that I'm getting this loan. For example, the loan, I want to buy something. It is, I don't know, it is $9,000. Okay, $9,000. And I can put a down payment. So down payment is the money that you pay when you don't want to, like, you say, well, I have some of that money. Okay, some of that money is a down payment. So how much do you have? For example, I would say, okay, I have only $2,000 out of that $9,000, right? So the loan we are getting is going to be equal to original price minus the down payment, because when you pay the down payment, then the rest is becoming our loan, right? And then you can see, based on this calculation, my monthly payment is becoming $310.24, right? $310.24 per month. Again, down payment plays a role like this in our calculations. Now, let's take a look at this. If I want to know how much interest do I pay, right? I'm going to show you this one. So if I want to know total interest, or I can just add it here. Total interest that I'm paying. Like, how much am I paying as the total interest? if I say, okay, I'm going to pay this amount every single month, right? Times 2 years, but 2 years is going to be every single month, right? So 2 times 12, it's going to give us 24. So this is how much I'm paying, right? So the total, I would say total payment here, including the interest, the total payment is 7,000. And how much interest are you paying? So how much interest am I paying? I borrowed, I'm paying 7,444, 7,445.86 minus the original amount that I borrowed. Okay, so I'm paying $445 as the interest here. So you can see that this is giving us a very good amount of information so that we can make our decisions, like what do we want to do now. Okay, but when you go and when you go to a bank, you go to a financial institute, again, this example is only based on something that you want to buy for $9,000. It could be $90,000, it could be $9 million. The concept is the same, right? So the amount is going to vary, but if you're going to buy a house, for example, you're going to get a loan, for example, for $1 million. And then the term, instead of 2 years, it's going to be 25 or 27 or 30 years, something like that. So the majority of the time is around 30 years. And the rate could vary. Again, the rate right now is like 6-7% around that if you want to get a loan from a bank. Again, depending on type of mortgage that you have. And then you can see that we have the monthly payment of $310.24. Okay. So you go, you want to make a decision, right? So you want to have a strategy. What is the best one? What if I can negotiate some of that? Can I negotiate the rate? Can I negotiate if is there any way that I can, for example, put some more money as down payment? Then what happens in that case, right? If you have different items there, if you have one or two situations that you want to check, but with different numbers, this is what you can do. So I can say, I'm going to talk about the first one. So if the rate is going to be different, okay, so I'm just going to first talk about rate. If the rate is going to be, so what if I can go and find a company that's giving me a rate for 5%, or a financial institute that can give me a loan for 5%? What about 6%, which I have right now? What about 7%, right? What happens if it goes up? What about for 4%, if there is a chance to get 4%, or even like 4.5%, right? So you are going to look at different numbers here. So I'm going to create something here in this table that I created here. And I would say, okay, so here I'm going to figure out with different rates. I'm going to merge and center this. I will give it a nice color so that you can easily check that. Okay, so the point is that if you want to do this, here you need to add your formula, okay? So your formula has to come here. This cell has to stay empty. So I'm just going to make it black so you figure out like that has to stay empty. This is like the rule for using this tool here, okay? So if the rate is different numbers, so equal, and I put the formula here. So this cell should contain a formula. What is the formula? This formula. What is the formula? PMT formula that we put over there. Okay. So this one is equal to the formula that I had over there. Now I'm going to click on, I'm going to select this area. Make sure that you are starting from here, not from the top. So the rate should not be there. The word should not be included there. So click on data, what if analysis, data table. And now the information that I have here sitting in this table, are they sitting in as a column or as a row? Because they are sitting as a column, I'm just going to click on this column. Okay. So which one is this from the original table that we had? It's this one. It's this one that we are manipulating or we are changing here. So I click on OK. And then take a look. The formatting is not correct. So I just click on home and then change it to dollars. So look at that. So I have, if it is 5%, my monthly payment right now it's 310. It can go to 307. It can go to, if the rate is like 4%, it can go to 303. So I can see how this percentages could affect my rate. So this is one thing that we can check. Another thing is that, okay, so what if we have, what if I want to have another thing? So for example, I can create another table just right next to this one that I created. I'm just going to merge and center it. And I would say, okay, what if I have different loan amounts? Okay, so if the loan amount is going to change, then what happens? So I'm going to, again, make this one black. The amount here is going to be, for example, if the loan is, for example, right, $10,000, 10,000, 9,000, for example, 7,000 that we already have here, 5,000 and 3,000. I just have some numbers here. Now, what if these numbers are like this? If the numbers are like that, I'm just going to add it here. Again, to go with this one, I'm going to choose a color for this one that's different from rate. Now, what do I need to put here? If you remember, we need to put a formula. So this one is equal to this one, right? So I have all the numbers here. So let me do it one more time. I select this area, data, what if analysis, data table. In my column, I have, this is column, right? And I'm dealing with different loan amounts. So click on OK, and then you can see that this is what I will get from there. Okay, so if it is $10,000, the number is going to get into 443.21. If it is 7,000, is like what we got right now, and you can see again different scenarios for this. Okay. I can go and check different things. Again, the last one that I'm going to have in this video for you is what about if we have different terms, right? So we're just going to check the term. So again, I'm going to turn, why do I turn it black? As I said earlier, you don't have to, but I'm just doing it, making sure that we don't make any mistakes here. So the term right now, what we had is 2 years. So what if you have 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then maybe 5 years? So what if we have these years here? I'm just going to put a border around it and then change the color for this one to be a little bit darker as we go. Not bad, like this one looks fine. Okay, so as I explained it earlier, equals the payment that we have, and then select this area, data. It's very simple, right? As you have to do it again and again. It will become very easy. So again, everything is in a column. So column, and which column is that? Like, what is the thing in the column? Term, and click on OK. And I have all the numbers. So if you're getting that $7,000, right? So this means that if you just go there, so everything is going to stay as it is here. So $7,000 loan, but instead of having different, but instead of having 2 years of term, I'm going to have 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So if you are going to just pay that $7,000 in 1 year and 6% of interest, then your money is going to be, your monthly payment is going to be $602.47. Okay, so this is when you're dealing with one thing. Now, again, if you now want to practice that, I would say like it's a very great time to pause and take your time and then go and practice that. I'm going to now explain something else. Now, what if we are dealing with two variables at the same time? Excel can do that for us as well. So I'm just going to select this area, and I'm going to say, let me just merge and center that. And I'm going to call it rate. So what if we have different rates? Okay, it should look better. So I'm going to click on this orientation on the top. And I would say rotate text, and I will just put it in the center, make it a little bit larger, right? So that we can see that better, okay? And then in this area, we are going to look at different terms. Term. Making this one a little bit smaller, 16, or maybe 14 would also work. And I select both of them, choose both. Now, something that we are going to do, I'm going to put different rates here. So the rate here is, again, I'm just going to copy these rates that I have. I can simply use them, copy, paste. Okay, so I don't need all that space. I'm just going to reduce that. Merge and center. These ones, I don't need the color, so just go with, say, no fill. Okay, so they are back to normal. So I have 5%, 6%, 7%, 4%, and 4.5%. So all the rates that I had on the top. And then for the term, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put them here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm going to show you something. How can I do that? I'm going to select them, copy. You don't need to necessarily do this. You can just copy and paste it. But I'm going to show you something as a paste option that we have here, which is very beautiful. So everything is sitting here as in a column. Now I'm going to put it in a row here. What does it mean? I need to go to paste, and then there is an option, it's called transpose. So what does it do for us? Again, I'm just going to do it from beginning again. So I'm going to select this area, click on copy, so it goes into my computer's memory, so it's like stays there. Now I'm going to click on this cell, and then paste, and then transpose. Okay, so I need to expand this one a little bit. So, okay, it looks good. Now, something that we need to know is that this area that I'm going to highlight it here as, blue, whatever you like, blue one. The blue spot that we have here, this cell, is the one that should contain the formula. Look at the previous one we did with one variable. With one variable, we had to put the formula not on top of our information. So we had our rates, everything here, but the formula should not go there. That one should be black, so and black one or blocked, and then we have to move one forward to right. But this one, where both of those information, both those terms or sections are, they collide, we need to put the formula over there. That's like the big important thing that you need to understand. If you make a mistake over there, it doesn't work properly. Okay, so I'm going to say equal, and I need to put my formula there. Okay, now select this area again. Make sure that you're not using term, you're not selecting term, you're not selecting rate, nothing, just the area, including a formula and the rate and term that you wanted to choose here. Data from the top, cap, what if analysis, data table. Click on this. Now we are dealing with two variables, right? In row, what do we have in row? We are having term. So I click on this one, which is showing term. What about the column? So there is also something for the column. So the column is showing the percentage, which is a rate. So I'll just choose this one, click on OK. There we go. I'm going to just make sure that I have the proper formatting here. Now look at this. What is this telling me? Now this is a very beautiful analysis to see how much do I have to pay, for example, in case, like, look at this one. If it is 7%, let's find the one that we have right now. We have right now 6% 2 years, right? 310.24. This is what we have. But what if we can just get better rate, like 4%, right? If it is like 2 years, 4% is 303.97. But if the term is like going to 5 years, it's going to get, well, I'm going to pay less amount every single month. But then how much is that going to be? It's $128.92. Okay, so this example I had was more about the financial example that could help us figure out, okay, if we have a PMT formula. Now you can have different formulas, something that is calculating sales, for example, for you. Okay, I have sales, I have commission that I have to pay, I have some other expenses. So there are lots of different things in a dashboard like this that I'm going to just change the color now. You can have a dashboard like this in your work, and then or this green one that I just created here. So you can have this dashboard, and then you are going to get different situations like this one that is like dealing with one parameters at a time, or this one that is dealing with 2 parameters at a time. So you can deal with those two. Take a look at them, and I hope this could be this is helpful. If you need something more about this, let me know. I would be happy to provide more examples, and I hope that you like it. So see you in the future in our next videos or sessions. Thank you.